Rolly and two beautiful Les Paul guitars. So I can call this video Rolly's threesome. On my left, 2019 Gibson Les Paul Standard 50s Goldtop. On my right, 2019 Gibson Custom Shop 60s Anniversary 59 Les Paul VOS. Very long name for a very special guitar. Can you hear £3,000 or $3,000 difference? That's the question for today. That's the question, guys. Please let me know your thoughts. I know it's very hard to play the same licks on the same way after each other, so forgive me about that. I tried my best to make sure the pickup heights, the strings, the setup kinda similar, as close as possible. And I try to play the licks on the same way as well. It's impossible because two completely different guitars, very different feel. I don't want to judge it. I want you to tell me if there is £3,000 difference in the sound what you can hear on this video. So please let me know your thoughts. And now let's go through the specs one by one to see where is the £3,000 difference. So the VOS treatment on this guitar on my right takes significantly more time than just finishing this beautiful Goldtop Les Paul Standard. So that's one thing. Other very obvious difference is the weight. This on my left, this is a Les Paul Standard, is much heavier. I mean seriously, it's heavier, significantly heavier guitar than this one on the right. So it means that the wood selection, so the wood, the same, probably they use the same amount of timber because it's the same construction. Even the neck size is the same, but the woods what they selected for this guitar on my right, it's much lighter, much more resonant, and probably more dried out, or I don't know why, but this is a much lighter and much more resonant guitar. I can hear it when I'm playing. Obviously you don't get that through the video maybe, but acoustically when I play this rings much better, and you can hear the acoustic difference, the tonal difference when you just ring them without plugging them in. Okay. Other thing, they use hide glue everywhere on this guitar. So on my right they use hide glue, what is they say it's much harder to work with than super glue. So they hide glue the neck into the body and then the top to the body, both hide glued, while even the fretboard onto the neck, so that is hide glued as well. So a lot of, as you say, more complex work needed working with hide glue, while this is super glued, and obviously that gives you big acoustic difference. That's what they say, the Gibson and the engineers, and there's no reason why I don't believe it. So your Indian rosewood fretboard, Indian rosewood fretboard here as well, but you can tell the difference. Unfortunately, you can tell the difference. This is nice and dark, so this new Les Paul standard range has beautiful dark rosewood fretboard. But this one dark and grainy as well, and yes, that this fretboard looks significantly better for my eyes. I'm not talking about the top. That is kind of fucking obvious. This is 5A graded, very book matched, heavily flamed maple top, while this one a plain maple top with a gold top finish. Nothing wrong with any of these. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the gold top Les Paul. I fucking like gold top Les Pauls. Nothing wrong with it. But you know, this wood costs much more than this one. For I'm just talking about the top now. When you play them after each other, quite obvious which one. How do you say? Where did the guitar builder spend more time doing the fretboard edges and hand carving the neck and things like that? So much more time went into this neck than into this neck. This is really good, playable. Nothing wrong with it, obviously. But when you compare it to this one, this is better. This is differently. This play is better. So these are aged, and the plastics are exactly the same as possible to copy the 59 plastics. I don't know how much does it affect the sound, but it affects the look, and yes, it looks great. While this one is just normal modern plastics what they use. Binding is aged on this guitar as well. Binding is not aged on this guitar. When you turn the guitar volume down, that's where I noticed the difference. This one cleans up beautifully, this one doesn't. Not as well as, much better than any previous generation of the Les Paul standards. Probably this cleans up much better than any previous generations of the standards, but this one is just perfect. It just takes that amount of top end and presence what doesn't hurt your ears and make that vintage quality sound. So yeah, obviously there's a difference between the capacitors and the pots and things like that, and the wiring itself. So the inlays, or the fretboard inlays, are aged and much closer to the original 59 inlays. They said that's not possible to get closer to the original 59 than on this guitar, so they did everything to copy the plastic. Unfortunately, even on a $5,000 guitar, these are not real mother of pearl, these are acrylic plastics. But that's how they built the guitars in 59, 58, 57, and loads of fucking great, amazing music was born on these guitars. So obviously nothing wrong with these. It doesn't affect anything, but just I'm just saying that for $5,000 there are brands who give you real proper mother of pearl and beautiful inlays, while these are plastic. Obviously these are aged plastics to get closer to the 59, while these are not. These are just normal Les Paul standards plastics, what they use for acrylics, what they use for the inlays. So the logo, the Gibson logo itself is aged on this guitar, while the Gibson logo is not aged on this guitar. So the question is, if you can hear £3,000 worth of difference, please let me know your thoughts. Please let me know it in the comment section. I'm very, very curious what's your opinion. If you like this video, please support my art, support my work by dropping me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.